The world feels solid, unquestionable, a fixed stage upon which your life unfolds. You've been taught to accept its boundaries, its rules, its persistent nature. This chair, this room, the sky outside, they seem undeniably real, present even if you close your eyes. But what if the very solidity you perceive is the most elaborate illusion of all? What if you are not merely observing reality, but actively, though unconsciously, knitting it into existence with every flicker of your awareness? The persistent patterns you've faced, the struggles that feel like unbreakable walls, they aren't external fixtures. They are reflections, echoes of an inner world, projected outward and then believed to be an objective truth. This isn't mysticism, it's the quiet, mechanical hum of your own perception at work, creating the very fabric of what you call real. You've felt this loop, but never named it, never truly understood its origin. Your identity, your deepest beliefs, are the silent architects of this perceived solidity. Unpack this, and you begin to see the seams. Your repeated failures were never accidents, they were echoes of an old identity still rendering. But what happens when that identity finally collapses? Next, we face the truth that your attention is rendering your life. And before we dive deeper, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. These revelations aren't random, and if this video found you, it was meant to. Now let's begin. Your attention isn't just a spotlight, it's a projector. Every moment you focus on something, you're not just seeing it, you are invigorating it, solidifying its presence in your experience. Think of it like this: the universe presents an infinite canvas of possibilities, a shimmering field of potential. Your attention, however, acts as the lens, selecting, magnifying, and bringing into vivid focus only a fraction of that boundless spectrum. What you give your energy to, what you worry about, what you constantly affirm, even subconsciously, becomes the dominant feature of your landscape. If you are constantly focused on lack, on struggle, on what's missing, your world obligingly renders more of the same. This is not a moral judgment, it's a mechanical principle. The loops you encounter, the frustrations that feel inescapable, are not randomly occurring. They are precisely what your sustained attention has meticulously, relentlessly drawn into form. You are not a passive observer in a pre-written play. You are the scriptwriter, the director, and the lead actor all at once, constantly revising the set with every thought. You have been inadvertently creating your stuckness merely by observing it so intently. This constant feedback loop means your present is always a reflection of your past attention. But how deeply ingrained are these unconscious scripts that dictate where your attention lands? This leads us to the hidden mechanics of identity scripts, the hidden codex. Identity scripts are not merely beliefs, they are deeply coded instructions operating beneath your conscious awareness. Imagine them as complex internal programs, silently running in the background of your mind, dictating everything from your self-worth to your perceived limitations. They are the frameworks through which you interpret every event, every interaction, every possibility. These scripts formed early, often from childhood experiences, societal messages, or moments of intense emotional charge. They tell you who you are, what you deserve, what is possible for you. If a script says, "I am always struggling," then even opportunities for ease will be filtered out or sabotaged, unconsciously, to maintain the integrity of that core instruction. You might explicitly desire something different, but if your identity script contradicts it, the script wins. It's like trying to run advanced software on an outdated operating system. The system defaults will always prevail. These scripts are not fixed. They are dynamic, constantly seeking to validate themselves through your experience. They are the invisible hand shaping your reality, making sure your external world aligns perfectly with your internal blueprint. You have felt their rigid hold, this feeling of never quite escaping the same patterns. But how do these scripts translate into the repetitive nature of your lived experience? This brings us to the profound truth. The loop isn't circumstantial, it's perceptual. The relentless loops you find yourself in, the same relationships, the identical financial setbacks, the recurring health challenges, are rarely about external circumstances. They are, in their fundamental essence, perceptual. Your identity scripts create a narrow band of observable reality, a personalized channel through which all information and experience must pass. Anything outside this channel is either dismissed, misinterpreted, or simply not seen. It's not that new opportunities don't exist. It's that your current perceptual filter is not equipped to register them as viable paths. Your subconscious mind, driven by its ingrained scripts, is constantly scanning for patterns that validate its existing worldview. So, if your script says, "I am meant to struggle," your perception will highlight every struggle, overlook every breakthrough, and interpret neutral events as further proof of hardship. You become trapped not by objective reality, but by the very framework through which you attempt to perceive it. The loop isn't a conspiracy against you. It's a reflection of the internal instructions your mind is tirelessly executing. This means true change isn't about altering external conditions first. It's about dismantling the lens through which you view them. This isn't just theory, it's a demonstrable mechanism of how reality is constituted. This inescapable link between your perception and your reality forces us to confront this truth. The observer effect isn't optional. The observer effect is not a scientific curiosity confined to quantum particles. It's an undeniable, operating law of your daily existence. You are not a neutral camera recording events. Your very act of observing, of paying attention, of filtering and interpreting actively participates in the formation of the reality you experience. Think of it like this: before you directed your focus, before your identity scripts kicked in, everything existed in a state of potential, a wave of probabilities. The moment your consciousness, colored by your beliefs and expectations, lands on a particular outcome, that probability collapses into a fixed event. You don't just see reality, you literally call it forth from the quantum foam of possibility. This means every time you lament a recurring problem, every time you reinforce a limiting belief, you are inadvertently performing a powerful act of creation. You are collapsing potential into pattern. The universe is not a stubborn entity withholding your desires. It is an infinitely responsive mirror, constantly reflecting back the strongest signals your observer sends. This isn't something you can opt out of. Even trying to ignore it is a form of observation, giving weight to the act of ignoring. The observer effect is relentlessly at play, shaping your world, and often without your conscious consent. This profound truth makes something else clear. There's a deep flaw in how we usually try to change things, leading directly to the paradox of trying harder. The paradox of trying harder is a trap many fall into, instinctively believing that more effort will break the cycle. You push, you strive, you exhaust yourself, only to find the same patterns resurfacing, perhaps in slightly different forms. This isn't because you lack discipline or willpower. It's because trying harder is often an action deeply embedded within the existing identity script. If your script dictates, "I must struggle to achieve," then trying harder simply reinforces that struggle, validates it, and generates more experiences that fit the narrative. Your attempts to break free, when stemming from the old identity, merely strengthen its hold. The extra effort becomes another brick in the wall you're trying to climb over. You're trying to solve a perceptual problem with an action-based solution without first addressing the core programming. It's like trying to navigate a ship with a broken compass by rowing harder. The destination will remain elusive because the internal guidance system is faulty. This constant exertion, without shifting the underlying identity, drains your energy and reinforces a sense of futility. It's a powerful engine running in the wrong direction, burning fuel uselessly. This futile cycle highlights a critical leakage point in your energy and potential, and that brings us to understanding the cost of unconscious scripts. The cost of unconscious scripts is far greater than mere frustration. It's the quiet erosion of your potential, the subtle calcification of your dreams. Each time an unconscious script dictates a limiting outcome, it's not just a single event. It's a reinforcement, deepening the groove of that particular reality. This costs you in tangible ways: missed opportunities, financial stagnation, strained relationships, and persistent health issues. But the subtle costs are arguably more insidious: a diminishing sense of self-worth, a lingering feeling of not being enough, a growing cynicism about the possibility of true change. You operate below your true capacity, never fully realizing what you're capable of, because a hidden program is constantly capping your output. This isn't about external forces holding you back. It's about an internal operating system preventing access to your true power. Your life becomes a perpetual feedback loop, confirming the limitations that were unconsciously set long ago, rather than reflecting the boundless potential you actually possess. The energy expended in maintaining these scripts, in continually validating their truth, is immense and often invisible. It is a silent tax on your vitality and joy, but this energy can be reclaimed. How? By beginning the deliberate process of destabilizing these entrenched patterns. It's time to ignite the spark of change. Next, we explore how to start breaking the loop, micro-collapse experiments. Breaking the loop begins not with grand gestures, but with micro-collapse experiments. These are small, deliberate acts designed to challenge and destabilize an unconscious script in a contained way. You don't attempt to shatter your entire reality with one blow. Instead, you create tiny fissures in the old perception. For instance, if your script is, "I never have enough," a micro-collapse might be consciously choosing to give a small, unexpected gift, or spending a tiny amount on something purely for joy, rather than focusing on scarcity. The key is to act despite the familiar pull of the old script, to create a slight deviation from its predicted path. These tiny shifts, though seemingly insignificant, send a new signal to the universe, and more importantly, to your own subconscious mind. They whisper, "What if this script isn't entirely true?" Each successful micro-experiment weakens the old neural pathways and begins to forge new ones. It's like rerouting a trickle of water. Eventually, it can carve a new riverbed. You are performing controlled collapses on small fragments of your reality, proving to yourself that the old patterns are not immutable laws. You are looking for proof that the script can be defied, even in the smallest ways. And as you embark on these small acts of defiance, something miraculous begins to happen. You start to notice synchronicities and symbols, cracks in the simulation. As you perform micro-collapse experiments, something shifts in your observational field. You begin to notice synchronicities, those seemingly improbable coincidences that carry profound meaning. A specific number appearing repeatedly, a song playing at just the right moment, a chance encounter with someone who has the exact information you need. These are not random. They are the universe responding to your new signal, cracks appearing in the illusion of separation, revealing the interconnectedness of all things. They are proofs that your old reality is not as solid as it seemed. Think of them as glitches in the matrix, evidence that the simulation, your perceived reality, is responding to a new input, your new conscious intention. Symbols also begin to emerge, recurring images or metaphors that speak directly to your inner journey. A broken mirror, a locked door suddenly ajar, a flickering light. These aren't just decorative elements, they are direct communications from your deeper self, reflecting the stages of your identity collapse and reconstruction. These synchronicities and symbols are not just confirmations. They are invitations to lean further into the unknown, to trust the subtle whispers over the thunder of the old narrative. They are proof that your micro-collapses are sending ripples through the quantum field. But how long until these subtle changes become tangible in your outer world? This leads us to understand the lag, why nothing looks different yet. The lag is the frustrating, often disheartening, period between your internal shift and its external manifestation. You've initiated micro-collapses, you're noticing synchronicities, but when you look around, your physical reality seems stubbornly unchanged. Your bank account is the same, your relationships haven't magically transformed, This lag is not a sign of failure. It's a mechanical consequence of how reality renders. The universe doesn't instantly snap into a new configuration. It takes time for the new energetic frequencies you're emitting to fully permeate the field, to interact with all the other elements that constitute your physical experience. Think of it like a massive ship changing course. The captain turns the wheel, but the enormous vessel doesn't immediately swerve. There's a delay, a period where the ship continues in its old direction while the internal mechanics are already committed to the new trajectory. During this lag, it's easy to revert to old patterns, to doubt your efforts. But this is precisely when persistence in your new way of being is most crucial. The old reality hasn't fully dissolved yet, and the new one hasn't fully solidified. It's a liminal space, a moment of profound transformation operating beneath the surface. You haven't failed. The new reality is simply building momentum. How do you navigate this space of seeming inactivity? We learn by rendering from the already done self. Rendering from the already done self is the powerful practice of embodying the desired future now, despite the current appearance of reality. It means stepping into the energetic blueprint of the version of you who has already achieved that outcome. This isn't faking it until you make it. It's realizing that reality is shaped from the inside out. If you want to be prosperous, an already done self doesn't anxiously check their bank balance or worry about bills. They operate from a knowing of abundance, making decisions, feeling emotions, and taking actions consistent with that state. You access this self not by visualizing a future event, but by feeling the reality of it as present. What would that version of you think, feel, do? How would they carry themselves? This radical shift in internal state changes the signals you're sending to the universe. You are no longer asking for something you lack. You are radiating the frequency of what you already are. This bypasses the old identity scripts that were focused on lack and struggle. It collapses the perceived distance between your current self and your desired self. You are actively rendering your new reality by living from its vibrational signature. This isn't merely positive thinking, it's a profound act of identity reconstruction, a quantum leap in self-perception. But who is this already done self, truly, and from where does it observe? This question drives us to ask, who is looking through your eyes? Who is looking through your eyes right now? Is it the old self, laden with its history, its wounds, its programmed limitations? Or is it the already done self, the self of potential, the one untethered by past failures and future fears? This isn't a philosophical question, it's a mechanical principle of observation. The identity you assume, the self you embody in any moment, is the lens through which reality is filtered and then created. When you consciously choose to operate from the already done self, you are literally changing the observer. This means the very you that experiences reality undergoes a transformation. The old self, with its ingrained patterns, begins to recede, much like a shadow when the light shifts. A new perspective emerges, one that sees opportunities where before there were only obstacles, one that feels abundant where before there was scarcity. This new observer isn't just seeing a different reality. It's actively pulling that reality into existence by its very nature. The world hasn't changed its fundamental laws. Your point of access to those laws has shifted. This transformation of the observer is the ultimate collapse, dissolving the boundaries of the old, who to make way for the new. This profound shift, this deep unraveling of your former self, isn't something to take lightly. This wasn't just a video, it was a collapse event. This wasn't just a video you watched, it was a carefully orchestrated collapse event. Each revelation, each layer peeled back, was designed to destabilize the fixed points of your perception, to crack open the illusion of your past reality. You haven't just gained information. You've experienced a series of tremors designed to shake the foundations of your old identity scripts. The loops you recognized, the observer effect you now understand, the paradoxes unraveled. These aren't abstract concepts anymore. They are mirrors reflecting the mechanics of your own life, urging you to see the invisible strings that have held you captive. This isn't the end of a lesson, it's the beginning of a profound recalibration. You have been exposed to the inner workings of reality, the quiet hum of your own creative power. The world can never feel entirely solid again, not in the same way. The choice now is yours. To ignore these cracks and allow them to reseal, or to lean into the destabilization, to actively participate in the rebuilding of your new self. The old structure has been compromised. The journey from here is about conscious construction. Make sure to subscribe for more videos and hit that notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next one.